The morning sun in Lanford possessed a particular kind of stubborn grit as it filtered through the dusty windows of the family home. Darlene and Ben sat huddled over a laptop screen, their faces illuminated by the pale blue light of hope mixed with deep-seated skepticism. Darlene let out a soft gasp as she scrolled through the latest real estate listings. "Ooh, look at this apartment," she whispered, leaning closer until her glasses nearly touched the screen. "I mean, they want $1,100 a month, but it looks like it might actually be worth it." Ben squinted at the thumbnail image of a kitchen. "Are you kidding me?" he asked, his voice dripping with disbelief. "Look at the size of that fridge." Darlene sighed, the brief flicker of excitement in her eyes dimming just a little. "It is tiny. That is a wine fridge, Ellie May. We cannot store a week of groceries in a box built for 6 bottles of Chardonnay." But then her finger froze on the trackpad. "Oh, hey, look. This place has got one of those. And it has got 3 bedrooms, a beautiful bay window that probably catches the afternoon light, a real fireplace for the cold Illinois winters, and hardwood floors throughout. The most shocking part is that it is actually within our price range." Ben leaned back, crossing his arms over his chest. "Something has got to be wrong," he muttered. "In this economy, a place that perfect is usually hiding a ghost or a structural sinkhole. Let me check the fine print." He tapped a few keys, searching for the catch that he knew was lurking somewhere in the metadata. "Oh, yep. There it is. There is a registered offender living just a block away." Darlene leaned in to read the details, her brow furrowed. "But it says here he exposed himself in a library. Honestly, given our family history, that does not really affect us. We rarely go to the library as a group, and when we do, we are usually the ones making the scene." Before they could debate the moral implications of their potential neighbors, the front door swung open with a bang. Jackie burst into the room, vibrating with an energy that suggested she had bypassed caffeine and gone straight to pure electricity. "Hey guys, I have got a surprise," she shouted, her arms wide. "We are going to Mexico." Dan followed her in, looking like a man who had been caught in a whirlwind and was still trying to find his shoes. "Thank you, Jackie," he said, his voice a dry rumble of resignation. "I was just about to be the one to tell them that." Jackie huffed, unimpressed by his attempt at authority. "Oh, fine. Well, you go ahead and tell them how we are going to drive all the way to the border bridge in El Paso so that Emilio can meet little Beverly Rose for the very first time." Dan winced, closing his eyes for a moment of silence. "Oh, damn it, I did it again. I let the secret out before the tension could build." Darlene looked between her father and her aunt, her mind immediately jumping to the logistics of a family restaurant. "Well, this seems very sudden. Who is going to run the place while you are gone?" Dan shrugged. "Oh, well, Emilio had a couple of days off, so it seemed like a good time to make the run. And DJ said that he would cover for us until we got back." Darlene raised an eyebrow, a look of pure skepticism crossing her face. You are aware that DJ is going to be doing magic tricks for the customers while they wait for their food, right? You know what is great for a restaurant? A filthy dove walking across your plate while you try to eat a tuna melt. I have got to go before I start imagining the health code violations. Bye." Becky wandered into the room, looking tired but determined. "Hey, Becky," Darlene called out. "How can you even afford a trip like this?" "Emilio's aunts are paying for the gas and the hotels," Becky replied, leaning against the doorframe. Darlene studied her sister for a moment. "Hey, look, I know they are putting pressure on you to marry him and make him legal, but you are not really thinking of doing that, are you?" Dan stepped in, his protective instincts flaring. "Becky is not going to fake some marriage just to get Emilio into the country. My God, it would make it impossible for her to meet and date anybody else for 2 years. That is the amount of time they have to spend pretending to be married just to fool the government agents." Jackie suddenly reappeared, her eyes darting around the room like a trapped bird. "Why are you so wired?" Ben asked, watching her twitch. "I just finished off 12 of those 2-hour energy drinks so that I am good to drive for 24 hours straight," Jackie announced, her words coming out like a machine gun. Ben shook his head. "It does not really work that way, Jackie. They do not kick in one after the other in a nice little line. They hit your system all at the same time. So now you are just going to be on the verge of having a heart attack for the next 2 hours." Jackie's eyes went even wider. "Oh my God, you are right. That explains the rhythmic thumping in my head. It is my heart trying to escape." Let us get on the road before I vibrate out of this dimension. The house felt quieter after the whirlwind of Jackie and Dan departed. Later that day, Dan was dropped off at the house by Louise, carrying 2 heavy bags of groceries. Thanks again for the ride from the store, Dan said, his breath hitching slightly from the effort. It would have been a long, hard walk back with all this stuff. Louise smiled from the driver's seat. Well, I was driving down the street, and I saw this sad old man struggling with a couple of grocery bags. And I thought to myself, hey, there is my boyfriend. And his face is not the right color. Dan grumbled, though a small smile played at the corners of his mouth. When I get my truck out of the shop, my face will be the right color all the time. When are you getting it back? Louise asked. As soon as I give the mechanic all the money I have left in my bank account, Dan replied. I am maybe at the point of going to the mall and hurling myself down the escalator just for the settlement money. Louise chuckled. Well, there is nobody in the mall anymore, Dan. You would lay there for 3 days before anyone even noticed. Hey, do you want to catch a movie or something tonight? Dan's expression shifted, a shadow of worry crossing his features. I cannot. I have got some stuff to do. I will see you later. Louise narrowed her eyes. You do not have stuff. Why are you trying to get rid of me? Dan sighed, the weight of the world visible on his shoulders. It is embarrassing, Louise. I have to go to the bank. They are foreclosing on the house. Louise stared at him, her humor vanishing instantly. Oh my God. Why didn't you tell me? We are a couple now. We are supposed to be there for each other. Dan looked at her, his voice softening. You are right. Give me $4,000. Louise paused, her expression turning practical. I do not have it, but I have cleavage, and I know how to use it. All right, let us go. Better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. Meanwhile, Ben and Darlene were exploring the new apartment with the kids in tow. Well, thanks for coming with me to look at apartments, guys, Darlene said, looking around the living room with genuine wonder. Wow, it is even better than the pictures. Oh, look at all the architectural details. You do not get this kind of character in the newer buildings. Oh, I love it. Mark looked around, unimpressed. I am hungry. How long is this going to take? You said we were going somewhere to eat. We are here, Darlene said, gesturing to the empty kitchen. Nobody is home. Go to the fridge and get whatever you want. Before she could say more, she turned to Carlene. I think this is it. All right, let us do it. Guys, Ben and I are moving in together. And if we get this place, we are legally obligated to bring you with us. Together. She waited for a cheer, but was met with silence. Why aren't you guys excited? Because we have been through this before, Harris said, her voice flat with teenage cynicism. You said we were going to move to Chicago with Ben, and that didn't happen. One of you is going to sleep with Dad and screw the whole thing up. Well, it is kind of my turn, Darlene joked, but her smile faltered. You know what? That is not going to happen this time. Go explore. Have some fun. Suddenly, Harris stopped in her tracks. Guy. There is a guy. There is a guy in there. A man with a gentle but eccentric air stepped out from a back bedroom. It is okay. I am Cyril. I live here. So feel free to look around, but please do it quietly. I just got the bird to sleep. Relationships, am I right? Oh, you have a bird? Darlene asked. Cyril looked pained. I am so tired of hearing that. No, I do not have a bird. I am with a bird. We share the space as equals. Darlene blinked. So, Cyril, why are you leaving such a great place? Originally, there were 3 of us, Cyril explained softly. But Pretty Bird passed away, and now it is just me and Mrs. Featherbottom. She just cannot be around all the memories. So how soon will you and Mrs. Featherbottom be leaving? Ben asked. I haven't broken it to her yet, Cyril whispered. She has been here since this was my mother's place. She still hasn't gotten over her death. Wake up, Mommy. Wake up, Mommy. Darlene turned to Ben, whispering, he would be so perfect for Jackie. At the bank, Dan stood before a desk, holding a foil-wrapped bundle. Wow, Louise said, looking at the ornate lobby. I wish I had a bank like this. I took a sandwich into my bank once, and they wouldn't even cash my check. Of course, I didn't have any money in the bank. Dan patted the bundle. This ham represents 40 years of friendship. Jim helped me buy that house. And the day we closed, I brought him a ham. Now every time I have a problem, I bring him a ham and he helps me out. Hey, Jim. A man in a suit looked up from his desk. Hey, Dan. Oh, Mr. Potter. This is Louise. And you remember a ham. Of course, Jim said, his voice lacking the warmth Dan expected. Ham was at my wedding. Gee, this is so great, Dan said, leaning forward. Big business has gotten so faceless, but you guys are still the same. Hey, neighbor, got a problem. Here is a ham. You know why I am here, Jim. I just need another month or 2. Maybe 3. But I won't take 4 unless you insist. Look, Dan, I would love to help you out, Jim said, looking down at his desk. But I cannot do it this time. What? Come on, Jim, you were kidding, right? You know they are going to take my house. Yeah, I know that, Dan. You don't think I want to help you? Hey, Dan is good for the money, Louise added. Tell Jim about that big apartment complex you just bid on over on Spalding. It is huge. And the apartments all have walls, which is great for a drywaller. Look, it is not up to me anymore, Jim said. We got bought out. I am just trying to hang on myself. They want somebody cheaper and younger in my spot. So they tell me what to do and I do it. Well, they told you to screw me over, Dan said, his voice rising. No, they told me that you are an unacceptable risk. They have got an algorithm now. Algorithm, Dan repeated. So I am a number now. I have got some machine telling me to get out of my own house. My whole family is living there. Where are they supposed to go? That is not your problem, Jim said softly. Thanks anyway, Jim. Sorry. Hey, tell Gail I said hi. Across the border, the air was warm and smelled of spice. Emilio stood on the bridge, cradling Beverly Rose in his arms for the first time. Look, it is your daddy, Becky whispered. Mi amor. Hi. I cannot believe this. Mi amor. I cannot believe I am actually holding her. She is so wonderful. If you think that is good, you should change some diapers, Becky joked through her tears. It is transcendent. Thank you for driving all this way. Your TIAs were so helpful. They even gave us little medals with saints on them to take care of us. I used one to scratch off a lottery ticket in Missouri, Jackie said. I won $10, so shout out to St. Christopher. We are going to have a great day, Becky said. I can't wait to show you the Central Park. Oh, my mother gave me her earrings for Beverly Rose. They are real gold with little diamonds. These are so nice, Emilio said. I will just put them in my ears for safekeeping until she turns 18, Jackie added. Oh yes. Yes, baby. We are finally in Mexico. Back in Lanford, Darlene and Ben found Dan in the kitchen. Hey, is my dad around? We saw the greatest apartment yesterday, and it is super close by. We have got to tell him. Yeah, I brought him some beer to celebrate, Ben said. It is not every day your little 43-year-old girl finally leaves the nest. Louise looked at them, her face grim. That is great, you guys. But before you tell your dad, I have to give you a heads up. He is in trouble with the mortgage. The bank is going to take the house. Well, he talked to Jim, right? He brought the ham? Darlene asked. Yeah, it didn't work. He owes $4,000. 4,000? How the hell did he get that far behind? Darlene asked in shock. I do not know. Work has been slow. Sometimes things just pile up on you. He was too proud to tell you, but I thought you should know. Damn, Ben muttered. It just never ends for you guys. One of your ancestors must have messed with a witch. I am not going to let my dad lose this house, Darlene said firmly. I hear you, Ben said. Maybe we could sell some more ads for the magazine or put together a few bucks. Or we use our deposit money for the new apartment to bail him out, Darlene suggested. Well, where are we supposed to go? Ben asked. Well, we could live here, just for a while, and help with the mortgage payments until he gets back on his feet. Darlene, I know you love your dad and so do I, but it is not going to be for a little while. He is a 65-year-old construction guy, and he is not just going to suddenly start making more money. Look, I am sorry. My dad needs me, Darlene said. Darlene, look, I do not want to live here, okay? We finally agreed to move in together so we can start our own life. You are going to make me the bad guy because I want to move into your childhood home? Look, we cannot lose this house. It will kill my dad. And every memory I have is here. Staying up all night fighting with Becky in our room. Teaching DJ how to sled down the stairs on a piece of cardboard. This is the last place I saw my mom alive. I do not want some other family moving in here and erasing all those memories. Hey, look, those memories are in you, Ben said. They are not in this house. I know this is hard, but it is not the kid's job to rescue the parents at the expense of their own lives. You cannot save everybody. Yeah, of course you feel that way now, Darlene snapped. In Hung, eventually your parents will need help too, and I will do whatever it takes. In Hung, you won't have to, because my parents have paid off their house, and they have a fat pension. Well, Tell those arrogant bastards to get over here, grab a bucket, and start bailing, because the Connors are going down. After their time in Mexico, Becky and Jackie were walking back to the car. That was really fun, Becky said. The people here are so nice, and I noticed the tequila is so cheap. The people here are so nice because the tequila is so cheap, Jackie noted. Well, I'm glad I didn't come here when I was a drunk. I would have died. Hey, you being a drunk wasn't all bad, Emilio said. We made a beautiful baby. Yeah, we did. Well, I guess we have to go. Goodbye, Beverly rose. I might not be there to watch you grow up, but I promise to FaceTime you as much as I can. Te amo, mi amor. Que Dios te bendiga. This won't be the last time you see her, Emilio said. I will come back every few months. No, you won't, Becky said sadly. You cannot afford to, and I understand that. I will. You will see. Bye, Emilio. Becky turned to Jackie. So do you want to get married? In the kitchen, Dan was icing his face. If you were looking for the ice cream, it was full of those weird ice crystals, so I made the kids eat it. Holy crap, Darlene said, walking in. What happened? A guy owed me money for a drywall job, and he wouldn't pay me in full. We negotiated, and we thought the best way to settle it was to punch each other in the face. I got $200 out of it, though. Whoa, what does the other guy look like? Oh, about 6-point brown hair. Pretty good looking until he had the broken nose. Dad, you cannot go around beating people up just to keep the bank from taking the house. Damn it, Louise shouldn't have told you that. Well, I'm glad she did. I want to help you out. You already helped me out, Dan said. I do not see anybody else around here filling up old water bottles with gas station hand soap. I am talking about the mortgage. You do not have the money. Well, I will sell my car, and I will take the bus. I will get a second job. I will do whatever it takes so that we do not fall behind again. No, you are not doing that. Your dad is right, Ben added. You are not doing that. We are doing that. Together, Darlene and I have enough to pull you out of the hole, and then we will take over the mortgage. No, you won't. Mark told me about the apartment. I am not taking your deposit money. I will not be a burden on you kids. No, you are not a burden. You always figured out a way to keep this roof over our heads. It is our turn now. The bank is not taking my house. You are not taking my house. I will figure something out. Don't be so stubborn, Dan. Look, we are helping you, and that is that. I already kicked a couple of asses today. Don't make me kick yours. That was a hero moment that was super unsatisfying, Darlene said. Not to me, Dan whispered. Thank you. Hey, you do not think he is crazy enough to let the bank come for the house instead of taking our help? Darlene asked Ben later. Well, we have got a little time before the eviction, Ben said. He has probably got about 6 months before the house sells. That is when the sheriff comes and drags your dad out kicking and screaming. And of course, if he has any weapons in the house, it could end up being a SWAT situation. Your everything is going to be all right speech needs some work, Darlene said. Hola, mi familia, Becky shouted as she walked in. How was Mexico? It was good. I dropped Jackie off at home. God, that woman can talk. She was going on and on about how she used to date Dr. Seuss 40 years ago. She claims she did him on a plane. She swears she did him on a train. Hey, Beck, how was the trip? Yeah, how is Emilio doing? He has changed a little bit, Becky said. He is married now. Sorry, Becky. Don't be. He is married to me. What the hell are you talking about? I saw Emilio with Beverly Rose and I thought, how would I feel if I couldn't see her? And then I said, don't look back. And then I did. And then I married him. Wow. So he is moving in? Relax. He has to stay in Mexico for 2 years while we pretend we are in a real marriage. Then he can get a waiver to come back. Oh, you better be damn careful, Dan said. If you break the law, they could throw you in jail. Hola, Becky. What are you doing here? Emilio asked as he walked in. Once I helped Beverly Rose, I realized I didn't want to miss any more of her life. Emilio, the point of us getting married was so you could come back legally. If they catch you here, you will be banned forever. You were supposed to be in Mexico. Check it out. I am. Here is me in Juarez celebrating 2021 with my New Year's glasses. Here is me in Juarez gaining a little weight in the winter of 2021, and then taking off the weight in the summer. It is a good thing you took off the weight because you are going to have to run from immigration when they catch you here. Go now. It is late. There is no traffic. I am fine. I will be staying with my aunts, but right now I really want to see Beverly Rose. Okay. And you showing up here without telling me is wrong. This lack of communication does not bode well for our fake marriage. Bienvenidos. Quick question. Is this where you are teaching your kids how to appropriate somebody else's culture? Yeah, I bet you cannot wait to get home, talk in an accent, and put those sombreros on the ground while your kids shake the maracas. You know who cannot afford those maracas? The kids that make the maracas. Yeah, keep walking. Bienvenidos. Oh, classic. Piñatas. You gonna take those home to your little entitled white kid family? All right, go ahead. Shout out. Aye. Beat the burro with a stick. Latinos come in all colors. Or Mexican, dumbass. Oh, lo siento. Feliz cumpleaños.